Okay, so in this video we're going to be talking about Morgan Jones and the whole Fear the Walking Dead situation, where he's coming from The Walking Dead to Fear the Walking Dead. Now this isn't going to be a long video by any means, it's pretty much going to be us just clearing some things up, because a lot of fans at the minute think that this is like a flashback, it's like a prequel to where we are now, and that isn't the case. People think that Dwayne's died, for example, he's gone to Texas, where our Fear the Walking Dead characters are, and then it's gone from there, he's come back to our group and stuff. People think that he's gone from Eastman to Texas, but that's not the case. Simply by looking at what he's wearing in the promotional pictures that they released, you can see that it's after All Out War. So it's literally showing the future, pretty much, these promotional pictures are. It's telling us as well that Morgan's surviving, which we'll go into a bit later on in the video, but it sucks that they've done that. I'm not a fan of it.
So before these screenshots got released, I thought that was going to be some sort of flashback as well, like a lot of people did. I thought Morgan was going to meet characters that are on their way to Texas just after Dwayne's died or something. He's to have a small part in it, but it looks like they're not going down that road now. Just going by these pictures, I mean, I know they've made him wear like the Eastman stuff, the stuff that he was on the way to Terminus with. They kind of made it look like he meets people on the way there or goes to Texas in between that time, which is not even possible, but they've done that to confuse fans, I suppose. Mm-hmm. The jacket's got a rip in it, and his look, I mean...
The biggest giveaway is his stick. It's sharpened, well, and he sharpened that in Season 7, so that pretty much tells you that it's Season 7 and onwards. And because we've seen what he's been up to throughout Season 7 and throughout Season 8, we know it's not any time in between Season 7 or whatever. It has to be after the war, or it has to be some sort of break, maybe, I don't know, Episode 9, when Walking Dead returns, he leaves, or just something like that. It's not been seen yet, basically. It's after where we currently are. It's after Episode 8. It's at least after Episode 8 of Season 8.
Because if you follow the timeline, you have Rick leaves Morgan, he goes off to that camp, to the farm, to the prison, while Morgan loses Dwayne and then builds up a camp in King County. He blocks off all the roads and stuff. He just goes batshit crazy after Dwayne's died. I think he met a few other people as well, because he has their names on the wall saying they turned and all that stuff. And given his state, going by these screenshots, he doesn't look like he's mental or anything. He has the stick, so it's obviously after all of this. That's all cancelled out. Yeah. It's not then. And it's not on the way to Terminus, because he follows the train tracks after Eastman. Like, it's kind of not possible. He just goes straight to Terminus. How the hell did he end up in Texas? Then the time gap, there's not enough time. There's not enough time. And his jacket's ripped and stuff. There's little things they've added in there. But, you know, they're smart, because they've made it at first view and you're like, how does that happen on the way to Terminus? But then you're like, oh, I see what they've done. He's just wearing the same clothes.
And going back to a point I made earlier, I don't like how they've confirmed that Morgan's going to survive Season 8, basically, because it's sort of spoilers in a way, isn't it? Because they're telling us that Morgan's going to survive. If he's put in, like, a gunfight or whatever in Season 8, any type of danger situation, like, we know he's going to survive. So, I don't know, it ruins it. I'm not a fan of it.
Last time we saw Season 8, he's like outside where King Ezekiel is.
I'm not a fan that they've basically spoiled Season 8 in terms of Morgan Jones. Like, we know he's going to survive. I'm not a fan they've done that, because it is pretty much spoilers, isn't it? It's telling us that Morgan's going to survive. So, if he comes across anyone, like a gunfight, or there's any close calls with Morgan in Season 8, we know he's going to come out of it alive, because he's in this Fear the Walking Dead Season 4 promotional pictures. So, I'm not a fan of that.
He's been saying all this time, I don't die, which I thought was kind of a foreshadow, like, don't push it because you're going to end up dying. But yeah, he survives until Fear, and he's probably going to die in Fear too, which I'm not a big fan of. I personally feel like Morgan should die on the main show. He met Rick, he saved his life, and yeah,
it makes more sense, yeah, but he won't. I don't see him going to Fear the Walking Dead then going back. No. Another thing as well is that if he goes back, he would sort of have to bring Madison's lot with him, unless they all die off, which I don't see happening. So it's sort of going in a way where he's going to die in Fear, and I'm not a fan of that, especially with how they're going with Madison. They're making her like a proper villain. So, for example, if she was to be the one to kill Morgan, don't get me started on... Oh my god, I would rage.
Well, Scott Gimple did say that there's enough heroes going to be villains and villains going to be heroes, something like that. So, and Madison's going down that dark path, so you never know kill her off, what's going to happen. I am interested to see Morgan meet her, just because she's so cold and she's so overprotective. And, well, Morgan doesn't look like he's in clear mode, does he? He looks kind of calm when he's walking along. But then there is a picture of him with his stick, and he's like behind a truck with Texas on it. He kind of looks like he could be in that clear sort of mode. But we'll have to wait and see. And another thing as well is, will he mention Alexandria, Hilltop, Kingdom to anyone he meets? I mean, we know the shows they're not going to cross over that much, are they? To the point where Is he going to go throughout the whole of Fear without mentioning anything to do with Atlantis?
Maybe he will see that they're not good people, do you know what I mean? And he won't mention Alexandria because he doesn't want to put them in danger. Because I'm pretty sure if he mentioned them and he did die, they would eventually, unless they find their own community, they'll eventually go to Alexandria, or they'll try and contact them if they were told about it, do you know what I mean? Somewhere down the line, they will try and get in contact with them or go there or just something like that. So I don't see the shows crossing over that much, and I'm pretty sure Kirkman said they're not going to cross over that much, like to that point.
But they said they're never going to cross over at all 3 years ago.
Yeah, true. So you have to wait and see, I suppose. It depends what the future holds.
I don't believe that he won't tell any of them about Alexandria, but this is a cool thing. Like when Morgan actually meets these characters, Nick, Alicia, and stuff, like, and I think there's a big time skip, isn't there? There's another big Fear time skip.
Yeah.
What if we meet the Fear characters again, the original ones, and they're kind of, we thought they were kind of cold before, but now they're even worse. What if, like, Morgan meeting them is someone we're very familiar with, someone who's really good, all about peace and stuff, wants to get away from all the death at Alexandria, which I'll go into in a minute, and he meets his characters, and then that's when we kind of realise, like, oh shit, the Fear characters are kind of worse, more dark than we thought. Because we've got a character who's really like kind of calm and like all life is precious and stuff. You've got Morgan Jones, a very lovable character, and then he's meeting these characters who are kind of dark and they've been through a lot. And Madison is like kind of the leader there, looking after her kids. So yeah, I mean, even Daniel's kind of ruthless. So like, a lot of the Fear characters have that potential to be more bad than good, and that could probably be the reason why he doesn't tell them about Alexandria. But then, like, he's got to stay with them, so eventually...
There's a lot of good... The good thing is it's not predictable. Like, we don't know what's going to push Morgan to even go to Texas to begin with. Like, is he going to just... I don't know. I honestly can't even predict it.
Well, that's a part of a comic thing, where, like, Michonne disappears and we've got the Michonne game, which is really cool because the comic stuff's going into that now, and there's a good things we've got to talk about the comic.
See, but she comes back, so if they do that, maybe Morgan will come back.
That's what I mean, and I thought it was going to be Carol, because kind of Carol's taken Michonne's comic stories a lot, like, well, not her complete story, but with Ezekiel and all of that, but she can't go away again like Michonne did, because she's run away way too many times.
Yeah, she's
and I was
sort of
thinking,
done with that.
who's going to take that role? And I think it's Morgan, and I think they're going to implement...
it's around the same time as well.
Yeah,
around
I think they're going to implement Walking Dead into that, Fear the Walking Dead into that, but I think it's going to be a lot bigger. I think there's going to be a lot more to explore. And it's not going to be like her going on a boat and whatnot in the Michonne game. It's going to actually branch off with Morgan going to Fear and having his own big story. He wants to get away from all the death and stuff in Alexandria. And we'll get to see in the second half of season 8 the reason why he doesn't want to stay. He must experience a lot worse stuff. Like, he must kill a lot more people in the second half. And he must just think, you know what, I just want to get away. I can't live with myself like this. Which brings into the Fear characters who are supposedly, I suppose they've lived on the road and stuff, and they've been through a lot.
Much worse, yeah.
Yeah, they've been through a lot of shit, so he kind of fits with them, and it's going to be interesting to see all those characters mix. And by interesting to mix them, I mean, like, Morgan's got these two sides to him. I mean, he's either going to be in that clear mode, I'm going to kill everyone that I see, or it's like all life is precious. Both screenshots that we've seen with the coat on and stuff, and he looks kind of calm, and then we've seen a picture where he looks like he's in that clear mode, so we don't know. It's like, what state's he going to be in when he meets with these characters? I have a feeling we're going to see him travelling there in kind of some like time skip type thing, and then I think he might gradually get worse on the way. He might come across bandits, have to kill and stuff.
Yeah. So maybe he might go, because if he's in clear mode, he's going to fit more with the Fear the Walking Dead characters, whereas if he's how he is now, he fits more of our group, our core group in the Walking Dead. So I can see what David means by that. That'll be interesting. My last point to bring up is I'm not sure if Morgan, he may overshadow, I feel like he's going to overshadow the Fear the Walking Dead characters because of his development's been incredible. I'd argue that his development's in the top 3 Walking Dead history of best developments. And when you compare him to characters that I genuinely like Daniel and Strand and stuff, there's no comparison. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know. I hope when he's not on screen, he's gonna like overshadow the character too much, because he's not even the main character for Fear the Walking Dead. We have to remember that. So for a character who's like not the main character in Fear to overshadow the main characters would be very like it wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good for the show. It wouldn't be good for the viewers either, because when he goes off screen, we're going to be like, oh, fuck off. I don't care about these lot. Just show me Morgan. So I hope it's not that kind of, I hope that doesn't happen, basically. I hope they find a way to balance it out. It was a similar topic with Abraham, when we thought it was going to be Abraham coming into Fear the Walking Dead. And then people were saying, oh, maybe it's not going to be the Abraham we've seen The Walking Dead. It's going to be him when his family dies. So he's going to be a lot weaker, a lot more fragile. And I thought, you know what? That could work. So I'm not sure how it's going to work with Morgan. I hope it doesn't do that. I trust the writers to do something with it.
The thing is, at least it's not a cameo type thing where he's there and then goes away.
Yeah.
He's staying, so it's not like he's going to go. I was scared that they're going to bring in a Walking Dead character, then they're going to go, and then you're going to be like, oh man, I want them on the show more.
That's a good point.
And it kind of would have left this thing where it's like, you relate more to those, because The Walking Dead, in my opinion, in our opinion anyway, this is just us, The Walking Dead's characters, I take a liking to them more than the Fear ones.
Way more, yeah.
Because we've been following it for longer as well, so it's like you understand more about the character, and yeah, they've just gone down a different path, so it's like you relate more to them. But I'm glad that's not happening. I'm kind of glad Morgan is staying. It's very odd, but I've got to say, I'm very interested to see where it's
I'm excited for it. Like, I'm actually excited for Fear the Walking Dead Season 4, and after Season 3, I didn't think I'd be saying that, but the screenshots do look interesting. I'm still going to give it a few more episodes, like 3 or 4 episodes, to see how I feel about the show, and if I'm not interested, David will just take over the action solo, because I'm not going to sit there.
You're going to like it.
I'm not going to sit. But the thing is, I'm not going to sit there and be negative. Do you know what I mean? There's no point. There's no point me reacting to a show that I'm not going to enjoy. I'll just watch it in my own time. So if that's the case, then I'll stop reacting to it. David will just take over solo. But I'm not high on Fear the Walking Dead as it is after Season 3, because I feel like there were so many continuity problems, and there was so many. It was so inconsistent, in my opinion, the writing. It was just so many things that didn't make sense. So I'm hoping that Season 4 gets me back into Fear.
Oh, it will. There's too many good additions to the cast. I mean, we'll do another video on Fear coming up, and I think the premiere airs on the same night as the finale of The Walking Dead, so it's going to be like this double thing. I'm looking forward to it. That's a cool thing too, I've just realised. If Morgan leaves in the finale, we might see the instant continuation of his journey right after in Fear the Walking Dead, which shows his travels to Texas.
Yeah.
I think that's what's going to happen.
But that's our thoughts on the whole Morgan situation in Fear the Walking Dead. Tell us what you think of it. Whether you think he's going to overshadow the characters or not. Whether you think this is a prequel still. And
I think if anyone has them up more interesting.
Yeah. If anyone has any other, I don't know, theories on how it could be like from before and not after All at War, then definitely leave it down below. But we hope you enjoyed this video. Leave it a like, share it around, and as always, cheers for watching.